You're listening to the Small and Supercharged podcast with Ria Freeman, episode 230.
Hello and welcome to the Small and Supercharged podcast with me, Ria Freeman. Today we are going to have a solo episode and it's going to be about these I'm going to call them awareness days, but please use that in the broadest sense of the term, because I'm actually recording this on Blue Monday. Blue Monday is a really interesting one, and actually it's an interesting one, but it also leads on to other interesting points around awareness days and things that people can get involved in if they want to, and how they can or not use it to promote their brand or business or whatever they're up to. So the first thing to think about is, what is Blue Monday? Now, this is apparently the Monday that is the most depressing Monday in January. And let's be honest, January is a challenging month. We're recovering from Christmas, and if you had a busy Christmas, it really does feel like you need to recover. If you're a small business, those last few months on the run up to Christmas are incredibly challenging, and particularly with the various strikes and all the other things that were going on this year, even more challenging. So people are recovering from the aftermath of that. If they are, if they have been spending money over Christmas, they might be receiving not so fun credit card bills. If they are self-employed, they might have a tax bill to pay at the end of January, because that's always a joy. It's dark, it's cold, it's often rainy. The fairy lights have gone, all the Christmas joy has gone. It's like Scrooge has fully moved in. So January can be hard. It can be really hard for lots of different reasons. It's also kind of a bit of a come down after the Christmas season when everyone's kind of jolly and you're doing fun things. In January, people tend to stay in their houses and not do so many exciting things. But that's fine too. Also, you're getting back to work after the break rather than getting ready for the break. January can be a bit of a challenge. So what we've then done, or what from my research is actually a bit of a PR ploy from a good few years ago have identified perhaps the most depressing day of January and said, you know what, let's make this a thing. And that's what's happened with Blue Monday. It's meant to be the most depressing. I think whenever we label anything like that, it makes us all feel a bit rubbish anyway. Whereas actually it's just Monday. Now, Mondays can be tricky for people as well. So combine January with Monday, we've recovered from Christmas, we're cruising towards the end of the month. This is the one. And I put up a post actually today saying sort of screw Blue Monday, essentially. And that don't let some random day make you feel anything you don't want to feel. If you are feeling really, really down, really depressed, then absolutely sort of feel those feelings and take appropriate action. But don't make yourself feel miserable because it's Blue Monday, if you know what I mean. Don't use that as the reason. So the thing with Blue Monday, and I think it points out a really interesting thing, is that it's not so much an awareness day, but it was to do, I believe, from my research, and do feel free to Google this is just my research on it. Blue Monday actually started from a press release connected to a travel channel. And it was calculated to be the most miserable day of the year. And it was also connected to when people booked holidays. So there's loads of things with it, and I think a lot of people have used Blue Monday as an opportunity to promote things connected to all sorts really, but with the goal of spending some money to sort of make make yourself feel jollier. I've also seen a Brew Monday and a Crew Monday and lots of things. So a bit like Black Friday, it has been not manipulated as such, but it has been twisted and used, and people have put different spins on it, which I'm not against, especially when something was developed as just a PR ploy and was kind of using people's less than jolly state as a reason. So that's what it's all about. So therefore, to kind of go, oh, it's Blue Monday today, that's why this and this is happening. That's an interesting move. Now, from your point of view, in terms of promoting your brand, I always think it's really important when we have these awareness days or these days that sort of unite ideas. So as in Blue Monday, it's making us all feel miserable. I'm not against any of them per se, but I am against when they don't have any relevance to you or your brand. Now, there are loads and loads and loads of different awareness days, all connected to all manner of random things. Some are really powerful. Some are connected to particularly health conditions. I've seen quite a lot of those. October, for example, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is something that a lot of people get behind, and a lot of brands get behind it in a really great way by maybe releasing pink collections or pink items that donate money to charity. I think that's great. And I think if you have a link to an awareness day like that and a story you want to share, what a great way to do it. It's a great way to help the overall cause and raise awareness or discuss things or kind of break stigmas. There's loads of awareness days that also do a lot of work on that score too. And I love the idea, particularly with the pink for breast cancer, of raising money as well. So raising money for really, really good causes. Now, of course, there's loads of different ones like that. If you just have a Google of awareness days, there's all manner of days that are connected to health conditions. Some are months long, some are weeks long. There's also, beyond that, there's mental health conditions. There's specific things that are important to different people. There are food awareness days around different types of food to help people celebrate them. There's different animals, different pets, different jobs, different professions. You name it, someone has probably created an awareness day around it. And if you could see me, I'd be using the inverted commas around awareness, because it's awareness to promote a cause, not necessarily awareness about a deeper thing like cancer or depression or something like that. So what I would say with any of these things that you want to get involved in, do a bit of research and make sure that the true meaning is relevant to you. And if it's not, I would heartily, strongly advise people not to get involved with it, because otherwise you're just jumping on a bandwagon. And if it doesn't mean something to you, if you can't add to the narrative, if you can't help the story, I don't really see the point in it. And I think from your consumer's point of view, from your fans and followers' point of view, if you're talking about something that has absolutely no relevance to you, it's really disconcerting. So saying, I can't think of anything that I don't want to say things, because they obviously, for some people, they mean a huge amount. But okay, I've got some window cleaner on my desk. So if it was, Clean Windows Awareness Day, and there are some really spurious days, if you're talking about it, well, actually, you've never mentioned having clean windows before. And I know clean windows sounds crazy, but trust me, if you do some research on these awareness days, some of them are mad. It just is really weird. Some people seem to try and weave every or a lot of awareness days into their content. Just don't do it. It can also be really stressful if you think that that is the way to do things and you're there thinking, well, this has got no relevance to me or my audience or anything of value to me, and you are desperately trying to crowbar it into your narrative. It's incredibly stressful. It gives you a lot of work to do because you're having to mentally think, okay, how can I make this work? And honestly, some things just don't. They just don't. This can be a thing as well if you are taking part in any challenges. There's lots of different ones throughout the year, particularly on social media, to help people generate ideas. And I think the concept behind them is brilliant. It's a great way to get people together, to show support, to give people inspiration and ideas. But what I have seen as well, in years gone by, some of these ideas, some of these challenges can put a lot of pressure on the person doing it when they don't feel aligned to the content they're being told to share. If that's the case, I would just strongly advise you not to do it, because it just looks really weird to your audience and you're going to really struggle. I know if I'm writing about something that doesn't feel authentic to me and I'm trying to post something about something that feels really grating on everything I talk about or everything I believe, or just doesn't have any relevance to me, it just feels like I'm walking through treacle. The content is rubbish, the picture's rubbish, I hate it. And as soon as I press post, I instantly regret my decision to do it because it just doesn't do anything. And in those cases, usually the engagement is atrocious. The engagement is just rubbish and I wish I'd done something else. But then that is why it's good to have your own plan for social media. So absolutely, if there are awareness days and things that you can fit in that really speak to you and you can really share well and have your opinion on that comes from the right place, you go for it and you write it in your schedules and you write it on your content calendar, and please use those things. They're really great. However, the other key thing is to realise that you have got your own content calendar going on. I give loads of talks about this kind of subject, and I know we've talked about content pillars or content categories, or there's lots of different ways to call them, but they're basically the key parts of your social media plan that you rotate on a regular basis that talk about the key things about you and your brand that you need to and want to share with your audience. If you've developed your own one of those, you don't need to be worrying about awareness days. You don't need to be worrying about anything else that doesn't really fit what you're doing. If you want to take part in some other things, awesome. But the beauty of having your own plan and having your own confidence in your plan is that you don't need these things, they add to them. That you will never run out of ideas because you know that you've got this rotation of these big chunky subjects that are key for your brand to get out there. So it's a short one today because, it's Blue Monday. See, use it as an excuse. It's not, it's a short one today. But I hope it's been a good one. I've seen loads of content today about Blue Monday. I was just chatting to someone before I press record and said, what should I talk about? And they just said that Blue Monday is absolutely rubbish. And I thought, what a great subject. It's something I've been looking at all day. It's something I've posted about this morning. It's something I've been tweeting about. I've been commenting on. I think these PR campaigns that are used to exploit people in this way are not cool. It's not how we should be doing PR. Yes, we look at pain points, but we don't create those pain points. And particularly when it's something as sensitive, delicate and important as how people feel and their mental health, I think it's not a great policy. So that is my rant for today. It's only a short one, but I hope it's been useful. If you want to know more about the content pillar, the content category concept, it's something that we talk about in Mastermind a lot. There is definitely at least one masterclass on it. And actually in this month's Mastermind, we talked all about how to create a year's content plan that doesn't just focus on social media, but also winds its way through to your blogs, your newsletters, your website content, your ambassadors and everything as well. And that is based on the same concept. But of course, we weave other things in like events and last postage dates and all sorts to make it even more robust and to make it cohesive across all your platforms and all the places that you speak on. To find out more about Mastermind, just hop on over to riafreemanpr.co.uk and along the top there is a Mastermind tab. Click on that, fill in the form and you will very much be welcomed to the Mastermind group. Thank you very, very much for joining me today. If you've tuned in, please do screenshot, share to stories. Let me know what you think, that's right, about Blue Monday, about awareness days. Do you get involved with them or don't you? How do you feel when you see ones that people post and they're just not aligned with a brand and you don't know why they're doing it? What does it make you think as a consumer as much as how much you use them as someone who uses social media to post and share stories and messages? I'd really be interested to know. I know my views and they're fairly strong, but I would love to know yours too. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time as always, and we will catch up next week with a fabulous interview. I know which one it is. You are going to love it. Take care. Speak to you soon.